Welcome back to the Only Pools podcast. I'm TK, and today we're talking about the biggest decision you might make for your backyard, building your dream pool. Now, I know it sounds exciting, but before you dive in, there are some major things you should consider before making your pool experience everything you've dreamed of.
And I'm Brian, owner of AquaServ Pools. Building a pool is a big investment, so it's important to plan ahead. Today we're going to break down everything you need to think about before you taking the plunge, so to speak.
You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Dive into discussions, no topics too small. From kiddie pools to water parks, we cover it all. We got pool parties and cannonballs too. If it's about water, we talking to you. Interviews with experts and stories to share. From poolside barbecues to water care. We got tips and tricks to keep your pool right. Listen in the morning or at the late night. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Every last homie. Only Pools Podcast. Let's go.
That's right, Brian. So let's start with the basics. First things first, budget. How much are you willing to spend? Pools can vary in cost depending on the size, materials, features, and even the area you live in.
That is a great starting point, TK. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of pool designs and features, but you need to establish a realistic budget. Your costs will include everything from excavation to materials to ongoing maintenance costs once the pool is built. And don't forget to factor in permits or zoning restrictions.
Permits? That's a big one. Each city or county has different rules for pool installations, and if you don't have the right permits, you could run into some serious trouble down the road. That's why it's key to consult with your contractor early on. They'll know the ins and outs of your local regulation.
Exactly. And once you've got the budget and permits sorted out, it's time to think about the pool type that you want. There are a few different options: in-ground, above ground, fiberglass, vinyl, or concrete. Each one has its pros and cons, and your choice will impact the overall cost, maintenance, and longevity of the pool.
Right. So let's break that down a bit. Concrete pools are one of the most customizable and durable, but they are tending to lean on the most expensive side. Fiberglass pools are quicker to install and they have more limited in shapes and sizes. Vinyl pools are affordable but may require liner replacements over time. The material you choose will depend on the budget and how you plan to keep your pool.
One thing I tell people is to think about maintenance when choosing your pool type. Concrete pools, for example, need regular resurfacing, while fiberglass and vinyl pools require less ongoing maintenance. It's worth factoring that into your decision making, so you're not blindsided with repair costs down the line.
And speaking of maintenance, another big thing to consider is the pool's features. Do you want an infinity edge, a swim up bar, or waterfalls, or maybe even a hot tub built right in? All these features add to the cost, but you can turn your pool into the ultimate backyard retreat.
It's all about customizing the experience, right? Features like a hot tub or spa area are great if you want true oasis, but they can also add complexity in terms of plumbing and heating. It's important to know what kind of experience you want, but also understand what it will take to maintain those features in the long run.
Great point, Brian. Another thing that's crucial in your decision-making process is location. Where exactly will the pool go? You want to think about how the pool will fit into your yard, how much sun it gets, and how close it is to trees and other elements that might impact the pool's cleanliness.
That's right. You want to be strategic about placement to avoid too many leaves, branches, or debris in the pool. And sun exposure is huge. Do you want a pool that's sun-drenched all day, or one that's in the shade for part of the day? It affects the water temperature and even how often you'll need to clean it.
And don't forget landscaping. Your pool might need retaining walls, drainage solutions, or even a patio area to create the perfect setting. That can add to your overall cost, but is also key to the functionality and aesthetic of your pool.
Definitely a well-designed landscape can really elevate your pool area. And if you're building in an area with slope or uneven terrain, you'll need to consider extra work like excavation and leveling. Landscaping can give your pool that resort-like feel, but it's not something to overlook.
All right, Brian, let's talk about something I think everyone should keep in mind: future plans. Think about how your pool will fit into your lifestyle over the years. Do you plan to have kids? Are you planning on hosting a lot of pool parties? If so, you might want to build a bigger pool with more entertainment features.
You want your pool to fit your needs for years to come. If you have a growing family or plan to entertain a lot, then you might want more space or deeper areas for swimming. A small pool can be perfect for relaxing, but if you want to host parties, you'll need room for everybody to enjoy.
Exactly. And speaking of long-term planning, energy efficiency is something to keep in mind as well. Pool heaters, pumps, lights, they can all rack up on your utility bill if you're not paying attention. Luckily, there are plenty of energy efficient options out there now. Solar heaters, variable speed pumps, LED lights, that can all cut down on those ongoing costs.
Energy efficient options are becoming more and more popular, and they can pay off in the long run. Little upfront investment in energy saving equipment can save you a ton on utilities over the life of your pool.
So much to consider, right? But it all leads to one big takeaway: planning. Don't rush into building your dream pool without making sure you thought of everything. The more you plan, the more likely you are to end up with a pool that meets all your exact expectations and your budget.
That's the key. The more you understand your options, the better decisions you can make. And remember, expert guidance is invaluable. Work with a contractor who understands your vision and can help you navigate these considerations.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Only Pools podcast. We hope you feel more prepared when building your dream pool. Remember, it's not about us diving in, it's about diving in with the right plan.
Exactly. Until next time, we'll be here with more tips and tricks to help you make your pool dreams a reality. Catch you soon. And don't forget to watch The Pool Point. Welcome back to The Pool Point, the segment where I say the things everyone's thinking but nobody wants to admit. Kind of like that one uncle at Thanksgiving, only with fewer conspiracy theories. Well, just a few less. Today's topic: buying pool equipment online to save money, and then asking your pool guy to install it. Oh, this one's personal, folks. Here's how it goes. You hop on the internet, find a deal on a pool pump that's too good to be true, and 2 days later, thanks to free shipping, a mystery box shows up on your doorstep. You're feeling pretty proud of yourself. Look at me, I'm so smart. I saved $100. But here's the kicker. You don't know the difference between a pipe fitting and a Christmas ornament. So who do you call? That's right, the pool guy. I show up, take one look at your discount equipment, and immediately know this is going to be a disaster. Why? Because that great deal you found online? Yeah, it's the pool equivalent of buying sushi from a gas station. Sure, it looks fine, but you're definitely going to regret it later. Here's what you don't see. The pump is missing half its parts, instructions are in a language no one on earth speaks, and it's designed for a pool that's half the size of yours. But hey, you save money, right? Now, I try to be professional, I really do. But the second you hit me with, it shouldn't take too long, right? I can feel my soul leaving my body. Because let me tell you, installing bargain bin pool equipment is like trying to put together IKEA furniture with a butter knife and a dream. And here's the best part. If, or should I say when, it doesn't work, guess who you're blaming? Not the website you bought it from. Oh no, it's the pool guy's fault. Are you sure you installed it right? Listen, I've been doing this job for years. I could install a pump blindfolded underwater while being chased by a dolphin. The problem isn't me. It's the fact that you bought a knockoff pump that's being held together by hope and duct tape. But here's the real issue. This is about respect for the trade. You wouldn't bring your own steak to a restaurant and ask the chef to cook it, would you? You wouldn't hire a mechanic and show up with a pile of car parts from wish.com, so why do it to your pool guy? Look, I get it. Times are tough. Everyone's trying to save a buck. But sometimes, you gotta trust the professionals. When you buy your equipment through us, we're not just charging for the product, we're giving you peace of mind. If something goes wrong, we've got your back. When you buy online, good luck calling Jeff Bezos to come fix your pool pump. So, to all you bargain hunters out there, let me say this. If you're going to buy pool equipment online, be prepared to install it yourself. Or at least have a good explanation ready for when I show up and start silently judging you. That's it for the pool point. Until next time, remember, you can't put a price on quality, but you can definitely overpay for regret. Thanks for watching, and until next time, just keep swimming.
You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. You ever go swimming, man, it's so much fun. Now we got a podcast, joining everyone. Talking about pools, the stories we share. From backyard splashing to Olympic fair. We got chlorine, pH, and filter tips. Keep your pool fresh, avoiding no slips. With hosts so cool and guests so neat. We're dropping pool knowledge that it can't be beat. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. Dive into discussions, no topics too small. From kiddie pools to water parks, we cover it all. We got pool parties and cannonballs too. If it's about water, we talking to you. Interviews with experts and stories to share. From poolside barbecues to water care. We got tips and tricks to keep your pool right. Listen in the morning or at the late night. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. O is for only, the best place to be. P is for pools, come dive in with me. P is for podcast, we talking weekly. Only Pools Podcast, the one and only. Grab your goggles and your floaties too. Tune in to our show, we got stuff for you. Poolside chats to aquatic news. Only Pools Podcast, you can't refuse. We teach you how to clean, how to keep it clear. The best pool stories that you'll ever hear. From summer fun to maintenance prep. Only Pools Podcast, we're your best bet. You down with OPP? Only